Okay, so I think it's assignment number 5. We made a collection of our templates. I have a recycled salad box that I'm keeping all my templates in. I think you've already seen them. I made a little folder to keep my shapes in here, and that will be handy. And then here are some of my 3D junk templates. So that'll kind of keep that all corralled. Okay, so that said, just a couple of more words about making templates. So I have been a production jeweler most of my life, and so I usually have a prototyping phase, but really when I go into production for a piece, I always make a template for everything. If I know I need a certain length of wire, I cut a master piece of wire that I label it with a piece of tape so I know exactly what I need, so I can figure out my how much I need for production, but also how it makes all the math so much easier. Okay, so these are just some templates that I cut for a certain jewelry line that I would make. I would call them Open Earth, and I made it out of metal. Now what's nice about this is that I can put this directly on my metal and scratch it, also known as scribing, directly into that metal. I do not have to have it on a piece of paper and transfer that. I know I can put all of my designs right next to each other, so I don't have any wasted metal. And it really comes in handy. The other little thing I like to note about templates is that it gives you, you're able to reproduce that design. So should I have somebody order this, I can reproduce exactly that again. And so which kind of gives you a foundation for a wholesale business, or just, you know, you can get back to that design. So I love templates, and sometimes we refer to this as making a jig. I make a jig for everything, and it just makes everything so much easier later should you want to make more of them. Okay, so that said, we are continuing to start making our jewelry illustrations. And so layout, I like to use a template, but I don't want my designs to look like, this is my personal, but I don't like my designs to look like cookie cutter template. So I always edit into my templates a little bit. It gives a little bit more organic flow to them, and but it keeps it, like I say, from looking like a cookie cutter. Okay, that said, here I've got a piece of paper, and I'm going to work on making a measured layout that I can work with later. So here I have a rectangular piece of paper, and this may seem like I'm stating the obvious, but you know, if you kind of follow this, everything's going to come out kind of square foundation. You don't start a building on a unmeasured rectangle. Like, you make sure everything is true square. So here I've run this edge with the upper edge, and now I am going to, what am I going to do? I'm going to do it the opposite way. Now I could do this and cut a square at this point, but I like to leave the little extra tail on there because I can use it for notes. I can use it for other views, which we haven't really gone into with orthographic views yet, but typically you show the side and the top and the front view with those. So we'll be getting into that. Okay, so I found a center of a square, and now I am going to finish my square. This paper is a little bit white on white here. Okay, might make a tick mark so I can see it. Tick mark. Okay. Making sure that I am running my edges again parallel. If you do that, everything stays square. If you get off of that, if you take shortcuts off of that, you'll be off. Okay, so now I'm going to fold here. And I'm gonna fold there. And you'll see everything falls to that center.